how nature and science proves the true religion of the universe. Before we go into the analysis of how nature and science proves the true religion of the universe, let's first of all discuss the relationship between religion and science. This will aid us to understand how nature and science proves the true religion of the universe. In today's world, many among the people seem to draw a very large margin between religion and science, such that those who adhere strictly to scientific principles tend to disregard God or religion, and they present scientific facts as if science has no spiritual or religious implications, or as if science is unconnected to religion or God. However, the two main types of knowledge in life, religious knowledge, which is guidance knowledge, and science, which is creativity or tool knowledge, have a point of connection, and that is nature itself. Thus, nature is the body of both religion and science. In other words, religion is like the spirit or the wisdom of nature and science is like the mind or creative temple of religion and nature. Just as the mind and spirit tends to connect with one another through the body, so does science and religion connect with one another through nature. Hence, religion and science explore or use nature simultaneously. However, due to the limitations of the human mind and intellect, as well as the limitations of the scientific method, a lot of things and phenomena of life may not have explanation within the ambit of science, but can only be explained under religion. In other words, science cannot explain many things or all of the phenomena of life, because the human senses and the scientific method are only limited to the physical realm of life or the realm of ordinary nature alone. Whereas, life extends beyond just the physical or natural realm into three other more extensive and endless realms or dimensions, which I call the realm of fire or supernature, the realm of light, and the realm of eternity. These realms or dimensions all envelope or encircle the physical realm or the realm of nature. And because the physical realm constitutes less than 1% of existence or life, science or the scientific method may only be able to account for or explain less than 1% of the phenomena of life. Almost the entire endless dimensions of life or existence lies within higher realms beyond the physical, extending just the tip into the physical. For instance, science has little or nothing to explain about the phenomena of dream, transvision, time travel, déjà vu, death or life after death, the uncreated creator or existence of God Most High, the activity of the human soul or spirit, the angels or life of the angels, the minor spirits or demons, and their respective realms, etc. And all of these, and many more, can only find meaningful explanations and representations within the scope of religion, because not everything in life has physical dimension, temple, or configuration or representation, and cannot be determined by physical experiment. So, it is only by means of divine connection to the higher and inner realms of life, through the human soul or spirit, that one can learn and understand these phenomena and life activities, which have incredible effect and control on physical life in humans. The limitation of human senses and science to the physical is responsible for countless events and phenomena of life, even in the physical realm, that science cannot explain, which influences man and life in general. Also, as a result of this huge limitation of science, the true essence or reason for life or existence can't be found within the scope of science, as the essence of existence is beyond the physical and actually more spiritual, which is worship of God. And worship of God means services to God, humanity, and nature, which brings about attainment of righteousness or ticket to paradise. Science do not understand or cannot explain the concept of righteousness or paradise, and still struggling with the concept of one uncreated creator. This means that science is not sufficient to understand life beyond its scope or the scope of physical, and can never teach the very true purpose of life or existence in creation. But religion, which encompasses knowledge of the physical and dimensions beyond the physical, is sufficient to understand the scope of life beyond science and the physical, and does so in definite principles and laws. Therefore, Those who rely only on science or the physical for direction and navigation to finding the ultimate purpose in life will either go astray or travel nowhere eventually. Only a combination of science and religion will effectively and successfully sail man in the right direction through the various realms of life back to his Creator. This is why religion without science will suffer, and science without religion will go certainly astray. This means that the knowledge of science, which is mainly creativity or tool knowledge, is meant to help man in the exploration of nature's packages and resources for use. While religion as guidance knowledge is meant to lead man to achieve body-mind-soul evolution or refinement while using the packages or resources of nature in order to achieve peace, order, and love in society, plus righteousness in order to achieve ultimate success from the worship of God Most High. Which means with good understanding of the religion, one certainly will not go astray and would be able to use the products of science from the resources of nature very well to achieve peace and order and righteousness, plus achieve self-evolution or self-refinement. True scientific and religious knowledge are inseparable. They are like husband and wife knowledge or creativity and guidance knowledge for mankind, both inspired and revealed by God. God most wise, most gracious, inspired the tool or creativity knowledge of science, so that mankind on the journey of life through the world may be able to create solutions to their material needs from nature's wealth or resources or karamis for our earthly missions. God also revealed the guidance knowledge of religion so that mankind can be directed on the true path or way of nature back to him. This means for both science and religion, nature is the common meeting point. This is why science is defined as the study of nature and religion as the path or way of life of nature, such that even by science the true religion of nature or true way of nature can be studied or proven. In life, one achievement is to be born. To acquire the resources of nature for use is another, and yet another achievement is to be able to use the acquired natural resources or packages of nature for the right mission in the right way, so that the purpose of man on earth is not defeated. Which means that acquiring all of the numerous wealth or karamis or resources of nature through science is not the ultimate success, but spending or using these resources or karamis in a way that brings peace, order, and love while doing the business of life or fulfilling one's purpose that please God, supporting humanity, and protect nature itself in order to acquire righteousness or ticket of paradise. This ultimate achievement is only possible through religion, not science. So, while science gives humans the elementary success of wealth and resources, religion brings the ultimate success of peace, order, love, etc. In other words, science is a knowledge meant for creating man's material needs, and do not guide man on how to prudently use the created materials to achieve peace, love, order, equity, justice, etc. on earth, and can't successfully lead man back to God and to paradise. Hence, the main essence of religion. Religion is meant to guide mankind on the use of all scientifically created materials or the use of nature to be able to achieve peace, equity, justice, order, love, etc., as well as lead man back to God and to paradise. For example, science has no definite law or principles on the use of sex. When, where, for whom, why sex can be illegal or legal. Science doesn't teach how we should respect our parents, elders, or spend the money or wealth man creates, etc., to achieve peace, equity, justice, order, etc. in society. But religion does guide man in all these areas of life. Nature is not only a teacher, healer, protection, guide, and sanctuary of resources and knowledge, but also has a pathway for humans to journey through the world. This is why nature itself is a guide, and the path or way of nature is designed to lead humanity to the one most high and God who created it. The fact that life is a journey for man through the world means that man is a seeker of not only nature's resources or treasures, but also the truth. The truth is the greatest treasure hidden in the sanctuary of nature. And this ultimate truth is the knowledge that leads humans to the ultimate secret behind existence and creation or God. This means that there's a path that leads to the ultimate secret behind creation or God in nature, and only on this path can one find God and fulfill his life purpose. You will agree with that if we were to give this path of nature a name, this path must be called the path of truth. Therefore, the path of truth can also be called the way of nature or nature's way of life. Since religion is defined as a way of life or path of life or truth, therefore, nature's way of life is actually a religion. Now, the question we need to ask at this point is, amongst the known religions on planet Earth, which one is in alignment or conformity with nature's way of life or the path of truth? Is it Christianity? Is it Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, etc.? This is what we are here to prove or find out using nature and science. Since nature as a sanctuary holds the truth as a treasure or has the path of truth, and nature is both a teacher and a guide, it means that nature as a divine teacher and guide can actually tell and show us in apparent definition and characteristics which religion among the religions on earth is the path of truth, which is in alignment with nature itself, both in definition and characteristics. Also, as science is the study of nature, it means that science can as well help us confirm or show us the religion that is in alignment with nature. This means, therefore, that whichever religion is in alignment with nature, it will also be in alignment with science. So, without further ado, let's see which religion nature says is the religion in alignment or conformity with itself, both in definition and characteristics. First of all, we need to define the truth, because from the meaning of the truth we will find our answers. Thus, truth in simple meaning is the natural order of things in creation or existence, or the natural order of creation. For instance, one natural order is that water must flow from upstream downstream. Any attempt to change this order creates chaos. Also, the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. This is the natural order for the sun. Any day this order is reversed, certainly the world knows there is problem. As well, humans must go hungry and eat, excrete, sleep, move, breath, in order to live, and even die eventually. This is the truth and the natural order of man's creation and existence, despite the fact that most of us don't like that we go hungry and have to work so hard just to feed and thereafter excrete. Yet we can't change this natural order of man's creation. If we do, there will be chaos or we may even die. Just as the natural order of things or truth demands that male humans only mate with female humans and must not have intercourse with animals. And when humans do, there is chaos. This means that in order to avoid chaos or collapse of human existence in life, we must follow or adhere to the natural order of things or natural order of creation. In other words, we must follow or adhere to the truth. And this means complete submission. This means that everything, including nature, is created with truth or order of submission, such that disrupting the truth means disrupting the natural order of submission of creation. This is why truth can also be defined as life itself, because if we follow the natural order of submission or natural order of creation, life is guaranteed. But if we don't, chaos or death is what is guaranteed. Therefore, truth can also be defined as peace, wisdom, justice, law, equity, total submission to the will of God. Because following the natural order of submission in creation brings peace, and this is law, order, and wisdom with which nature itself works. This means that the truth, wisdom, order, and way of life of nature is total submission to God's order of creation, and this is called the will or power of God in creation. So, the truth is the will or power of God in creation. So, by definition, the only religion whose name and definition is in alignment or conformity with nature's way of life is Islam. As Islam is the only religion on earth which in very clear terms is defined as peace or total submission to the will of Almighty God. This is just the beginning and introduction to the numerous miraculous evidence of nature's proofs that Islam is the true way of life in alignment with itself, both in definition and characteristics. Hence, The path of truth in nature is Islam. It will amaze you, dear listener and seeker of truth, to also find out that nature, man, whether Christians, Buddhists, Hindus, etc., and the whole of existence is created with Islam. From quick analysis, before we even move on to deeper explorations, we can easily deduce this fact form the definition of truth itself. Remember that the truth is the natural order of creation or submission, which means that everything is created with the truth or by the truth. And if the truth is peace, order, law, submission, etc., and Islam is peace and submission, then everything is simply created with Islam. Let's move on to section 2 in next video to get more analysis how nature and science proves Islam in both definitions and characteristics. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to get notifications for the next video analysis. Stay blessed.